reporting in from his room. Here to reintroduce Sir Charles Kingsford Smith. He was born in Hamilton, Brisbane, Australia on February 9, 1897. Died on 8th November 1935, aged 38, and graduated from Sydney Technical College as an electrical engineer at age of 16. He enrolled in the Australian military forces in 1915, firstly serving in the Middle East, then in 1917 in France as a fighter pilot, where he was awarded the Military Cross for gallantry in action. On the 31st of May 1928, he was the first to make a non-stop flight around Australia. Then in August 1928, he attempted the Tasman crossing to New Zealand. Unfortunately, it failed, and the second attempt was made later during that year with success, and about 30,000 people were present on this fantastic landing to celebrate the occasion. However, on the 31st of March 1929, two men, Keith Anderson and Bob Hitchcock, in their Westland Widgeon Kookaburra crash-landed in Central Australia and died on their way finding help, and Kingsford was held to blame. The media dubbed this occasion the Coffee Royale affair.
I said in Brisbane last night, I think it should be made known that Hill's taken his unfortunate...
Later on in 1930, he competed in the England air race to Australia, and flying solo won the event. In 1931, he purchased an Avery O'Havian he named Southern Cross Jr. to attempt an Australian to England flight. He later sold this aircraft to W.N. Bill Lancaster, who mysteriously vanished over the Saharan desert and wasn't found until 1962. As a side project in 1931, Kingsford Smith was developing a Southern Cross automobile. In 1933, 7 Mile Beach, New South Wales was used by Sir Charles Kingsford Smith as a runway for the first commercial flight between Australia and New Zealand. In 1934, he purchased a Lockheed Altair, the Lady Southern, with the intention of competing in the McRobertson air race. He was unable to make it to England in time for the start of the race, and so flew the Lady Southern Cross from Australia to the United States instead, the first eastward crossing of the Pacific Ocean by aircraft. Kingsford Smith and John Pettibridge unfortunately died crossing overnight from Allahabad, India to Singapore as part of their attempt to break the England-Australia speed record by CWA Scott and Tom Campbell Black. Statistics show that Charles and John were crossing the Andaman Sea on the 8th of November 1935, just before the breakdown. Fortunately, an undercarriage leg from the aeroplane's Southern Cross, whom he piloted, was recovered and was quickly rushed to the Powerhouse Museum in Sydney, where it still lays to this day. So, what has Charles Kingsford done to contribute to our society? He is one of the greatest pioneers of aviation. He was known for the first non-stop crossing of the Australian mainland, Trans-Pacific flight, and the England to Australia air race. He was in the Australian Flying Corps, Royal Flying Corps, and the Royal Air Force. He was in Gallipoli Campaign and the Western Front. He earned his captain rank and Air Commodore as an honorary rank, and he's won the Knight's Bachelor Military Cross and the Air Force Award. Let us not forget about the Southern Cross Medal, whom he was awarded by, and his face was also featured in an Australian $20 note. That is all.